superego. You have to say yes, ego. This is the time I learned to say no, superego, stern face, ego. Okay, but something's gonna go wrong, I warn you. And there I was, in my favorite place in the whole world, San Pedro de Atacama in Chile. Ahí? San Pedro de Atacama in Chile. Everything had fallen into place for me to take that life-changing trip. I needed to leave Mexico, my friends, my family, me, but I wanted to be myself, find myself, build myself, and I was to find that traveling. Everything had been perfect. Santiago had been amazing, the Salar de Uyuni in Bolivia, no? had been awesome. We even survived Mauricio, the worst jeep driver in the world. I survived 6,000 meters above sea level and minus 25 degrees Celsius without using my inhaler once. But things catch up with you. So, well, they do. And up until that point, and much afterwards, my psychoanalysis had dealt with the symptom of not being able to breathe. To travel was precisely what I needed, to learn to stand and survive alone as much as I can do, and to move my feet from where they have become so rooted, and more importantly, to learn to breathe on my own. But life teaches you that it takes a bigger effort to deal with yourself than to just ignore your problems. So we woke up late the morning after my birthday dinner, which resulted in everyone sick from the pizza we ate, and maybe the pisco we drank. And, well, we had breakfast, we walked around town, and we walked past this tour agency that rents bike to take different tours in the Atacama desert. And my friend turns to me and I go, super ego wins. So helmet, check. Knee pads, check. No ability whatsoever to ride a bike, double check. On we go. And 2 blocks down, still in town, I realized I had forgotten my inhaler. Well, like I said, I hadn't had to use it, but it would be fatal not having it with me. So the mere idea of not having it with me made it hard for me to breathe, hence the symptom of my psychoanalysis. And, well, on we go. And we could have gone for it on our way, but I didn't say anything. On we go, paved roads, everything was fine. We get to the park, and the rough stuff began. Dust and sand and bumpy roads. I have to say that before going to Chile, I had a fascination with the Atacama desert, particularly with its sky, of renowned astrological study. But being there was another thing altogether. Being atop a sand dune in Valle de la Luna, with the colors of the sky near sunset, the clouds, the sand, I wanted to stay there and breathe that air forever. So I felt cheated with what happened next, because someone stole that sublime moment from me. Down the slope, on our way back to town, no more bikes, thank God. Well, no, pero. My friend ahead of me falls down some loose sand. I could either brake and fly through the air, or I could run her over. I chose to brake because I wanted to fly through the Atacama sky. Not in the way that I wanted, but okay. I did. And I was in a lot of pain because there was no way my right arm was still attached to my body. No way. And all I could hear was screaming and shouting, and my ego going like, I told you so, and my super ego like, you didn't know how to ride a bike. Why did you say yes? So, next comes shame, because a bus full of ecotourism students from Viña del Mar stopped to see what was happening. 3 of them, one really good looking, helped me onto their bus while we waited for the ambulance. When I stopped crying and I had cleared all the snot from my face, and they told me they were going to take me to the posta, which is not, as I naively thought, the name of the hospital, but the equivalent of the Centro de Salud in any rural community in Mexico. Evidently, it didn't have an X-ray machine. We had to wait till the next day to get to Calama, the nearest city, known for mining, prostitution, and alcohol, where we spent the whole day, but I did get my X-ray and a lot of painkillers. There wasn't a fracture, just something to do with the ligaments or the tendons, or never could understand the Chilean accent. But I did have to wear a sling for the rest of the trip. The ironic thing is, I felt like an invalid just when I was starting to find my freedom, my own way to stand and walk by my own and breathe on my own. And I ended up depending on someone else, something that I was escaping from, more death. And after almost 2 years, I realized that my soul will forever want to travel, but even when going with other people, I have to start my own journey from wherever I am, because this is true, you do take things with you. Here in Mexico, I literally couldn't breathe, and in Chile, it was the mere idea of not being able to. I suffered both. I have learned that I cannot escape clinging onto people just because I'm on the road. I have to start to do it from wherever I am. I have learned to stand alone, to breathe my own air, and to let go.